This is a video that is gonna upset a lot of people. If you're a Kaspa cultist, if you can't see outside of your window, outside of your bubble, you're either gonna be extremely triggered or perhaps you're gonna be able to look outside of your window and learn something out of it. The choice is yours, you do you. I don't care if this triggers you. Honestly, don't say that you haven't been warned. I'm gonna compare Kaspa and Alephium and how I actually think that Alephium is a much better choice if I was to enter the market right now, because believe me, I hold much more Kaspa than I hold Alephium. I was way earlier into Kaspa than I was in Alephium, but I'm already almost at 10x overall into Kaspa. I'm gonna compare the main points of, let's say, discrepancy between the two. First point is fair launch. Kaspa is a completely fair launch project. So if I go and look into the chart of Kaspa, I can see that Kaspa started from literally zero. So this is as decentralized as it gets because it didn't have any sort of pre-mine supply. It started from zero and then the miners started mining Kaspa. Alephium, on the other hand, had some sort of pre-mine supply. Can you call this project as decentralized as Kaspa? No, you cannot for this reason. However, I beg to differ because actually all the pre-mine supply was sold by the insiders at the beginning and the price went as fair launch as it got because all of those people took profit. The pre-mine supply was around 5% and in these last couple of years, another 2% of the circulating supply was released, given that this project, regardless of that, actually gained fair launch status after that, and now it's as deflationary as it gets. It's perhaps even more deflationary than Kaspa because the token emission schedule of this is so freaking slow. I think that all of these tokens of Alephium are going to be in circulation by 2080 or something like that. We have another 60 years in the books. The people that attack Alephium for the low circulating supply don't understand the emission schedule, haven't done any sort of research that tells them, hey, this number of tokens are going to be in circulation at the peak of this current bull. Because let's be frank, I aim to sell all of my crypto portfolio at the end of the bull run next year or wherever it's gonna be. I don't aim to hold these projects in the next bear market. I'm gonna perhaps buy them at the lowest in the next bear market, but I'm gonna take my profits. So if you're looking to make gains next year or perhaps at the end of this year or whatever it is, then this should not concern you a single bit. Then, is this project decentralized? I've already said it. I think that both are decentralized projects. Kaspa is more decentralized because of that reason. This also comes with its drawbacks because you need to understand that Alephium has a lot of VC backing, a lot of VC that are accumulating this. This is also why the price pump like this, because VCs, big investment firms, are accumulating, perhaps even exchanges. The chart of Kaspa is looking extremely bullish, and again, I have way more Kaspa than I have Alephium. However, these are primarily exchanges, and for the rest, Kaspa is still a retail coin. Why do I call it a retail coin? Because Kaspa is digital silver. It's a transactional value currency that aims to solve the trilemma of Bitcoin, decentralization, security, and scalability. But it's just that, at least for now. Yes, there's going to be smart contracts, there's going to be KRC20 tokens. Kaspa has existed and is going to exist for the foreseeable future just solely on that promise. And it can essentially live without any sort of premise of the sort because Kaspa is digital currency, digital transaction, digital silver, however you want to put it, right? Alephium, on the other hand, is an actual ecosystem, decentralized application, launchpad, DeFi, all that you want to put it. And if you just go on the website, yeah, it's all good and all, that's all the nice, shiny stuff. But if you go back down, you actually can see all the apps that are gonna build on the ecosystem. And there's a lot that are being built. Some of them are live already. There's the Alephium launchpad for upcoming IDOs. You can explore these apps. There's gambling. There's also an NFT marketplace. There's a bunch of different things that are gonna be developed on Alephium. And they are already there. So you can't argue that Alephium is a ghost chain. However, I also gonna say that Alephium can't consider the next Kaspa when it comes to this because Kaspa is a digital currency, Alephium is a layer 1 ecosystem. They are both layer 1 projects, they are both proof of work. One could be more efficient than the other. I can't really say on that. I'm not a developer, I'm not as technical into the details. However, they have very similar technologies on this end, and this is why I do agree that Alephium could be considered the next Kaspa on that regard, because they both use a DAG structure, and this is called block flow The one of Kaspa is called a block deck, and they're both super cheap and super fast to transact. So there's not a lot of differences in there. Super efficient when it comes to energy consumption. I'm not sure what the most efficient is, but that's beside the point, because the majority of investors are really gonna look into what money can this bring me out of my initial investment. They don't really care, oh, what's the fastest, what's the cheapest. They don't really care, right? I personally don't care. I'm here in crypto to make money. Sorry to be completely frank. A lot of people seem to be here in crypto just to invest into the most decentralized project or whatever. That is far from being the reality, at least from my side. There's also several wallets that can hold Alephium, pretty much similar to the situation of Kaspa. Kaspa is the Caspian wallet. This is the extension wallet that is both on a Web3 browser extension. It's also on a desktop app and a mobile app. It's also supported on a variety of different wallets. I also just brought this, for instance, Sesame Wallet. It's another hot wallet that supports Alephium. You can also store this on Tangem. I would still recommend it for the majority of people, especially if you have a lot of money into it, because you can put it to cold storage. However, just be aware that if you're storing Alephium on a cold storage, at least for now, it's gonna have to be on its Ethereum contract address, so not on its mainnet. But if you're looking to store Alephium on the mainnet, then all of these hot wallet options are still available if you want to do so. Listed on a variety of exchanges already. The exchange listing situation, it's very similar to the one of Kaspa, for instance. We have Maxi, BigGet, CoinEx, and then Uniswap when it comes to decentralized exchanges. On the other hand, Kaspa is not really supported on decentralized exchanges. It's predominantly on Bybit, KuCoin, Maxi. Actually, there's the Bybit listing that it's lacking on Alephium, and that could perhaps be a very good catalyst event, because there's not really a tier 2 exchange right now. Maybe BigGet could be considered a tier 2. I would still consider that a tier 3. So when even Bybit comes around, when KuCoin comes around, the price of Alephium is probably going to go exponentially high. The market cap comparison is definitely something that we need to also consider, because just look at this. Alephium with the market cap of Kaspa right now would be a 14x from here. And Alephium with the market cap of the all-time high of Kaspa, which is not that far off from now, would be at 23.29x. That is crazy number. That would be a $53 Alephium. So what's my price prediction? How do I see the price of Alephium? I'm going to go back to it at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But just the fact that Alephium will be so big where Kaspa was or where Kaspa is right now, to me, is quite a no-brainer into the comparison, because we need to talk about this, guys. Alephium is 176 million in market cap, whereas Kaspa is already in the billions, okay? It's literally in the top 100. It's 2.6 billions. Yes, Kaspa has a much bigger community. Kaspa has a much bigger user adoption and many more people talking about it. But it's not all good and all, because think about it. If we're looking for a project to reach those levels, and if you want to find a project that you're still early on, I do think that a lot of people are going to disagree, but I do think that you're way earlier on Alephium right now, if you're entering the market right now, than you are in Kaspa. And I know that a lot of people are going to be triggered by this, but I quite frankly don't care, because I'm just speaking facts in a very organic and unbiased way. Let's look at the chart a little bit. Everything dropped, as you guys know, in the previous week. We've had some of the biggest dips that we've seen in 1 year, really, in the altcoin market, especially following the movements of Bitcoin. And in my opinion, I can see these two support levels, these two support zones that we touched. First of all, with the biggest dip that we've had, that we touched, first of all, in the biggest dip that you can see in this zone right there. And I actually put a massive order on Alephium when we went below the $2 mark, so around this zone. After that, I kept accumulating on all of this range, really, because I think it's a fantastic range for accumulating ELF. And then we touched this week, this next support level with this big green candle that we can see right there. That should be around 2.20 cents. And who knows where it goes from here. So we could have one of two options. We could go literally up from here. Maybe that was the bottom and it's all the way up from here. Or perhaps we could retest the lows if Bitcoin was to do another stop around 59 to 57K. Next, this zone right there between the 1.90 and 1.70 cents. I personally do not think that we're going to go that low unless Bitcoin really tests the support zone around the 52K mark. Is that going to happen? It is possible. It's definitely a possibility. But if that doesn't happen, then the movement is probably going to be around this range that you can see right here, with testing the low another time if possible, and then all the way up from here, higher highs and higher lows. And without this approach, we go straight to the stars. And yes, I know I have beautiful drawing skills, okay? That's my price prediction for Alephium. Let's take a look. I've heard people that say 100x Alephium is still possible. I think that is a little too optimistic, but let's say that Alephium does a 30x and we got around a 5 billion in market cap for a layer 1 that is far from being a ghost chain with a developing and thriving ecosystem, I don't think it's out of consideration. Let's just put it like this. A conservative option will be around the 20x Alephium, and that will put it around the $40 to $50 range. A more realistic option would be a 50 to 70, so it would be up to a 30x. And then anything above a 30x up to going to around a 50x would be more in the optimistic option. In my opinion, it could even go above that, but I'm all about being relatively conservative with my audience. I don't want to give you crazy price prediction. My channel is not built around that, and I also want to avoid disappointment. So those are my 3 price ranges. I'm definitely more set about the realistic option, but anything could be possible, especially in an environment, you know, with big VCs investing, with a lot of exchange listing missing. If you guys don't know, when these crypto projects get listed on Binance, on Coinbase, the prices just skyrocket, okay? It goes berserk. It's all possible scenarios, and I remain extremely bullish on it. Perhaps it's not the next Kaspa. Perhaps it doesn't need to be the next Kaspa, because one is a retail project, one is a VC project. They're both decentralized. If you consider the pre-mine supply a big deal when it comes to decentralization, then okay, but I'm gonna reply to you, who cares? I'm here to make money in crypto, and this, in my opinion, has a lot more pumping potential and catalyst events compared to Kaspa, especially consider that the market cap is so much smaller, and it just paves the way for a lot more opportunities for investors at this stage looking to build generational wealth and create massive returns this bull cycle. So I hope that you guys were able to take some value out of this video. I'm sure you did. And don't forget that I'm running the best community in crypto right now. My VIP group is still super cheap, but it's gonna be increasing in prices very, very soon. So if you want to lock in these prices, especially the lifetime access, because it's going to go up a lot, and this is by far the best value for money, then consider joining now. These are all the benefits, and on top of this, I'm also launching my first VIP private sales VC rounds for the hottest crypto projects right now. All the benefits are going to be discussed inside of the Discord, and safe to say that we're going to make crazy returns. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey very soon. And until then, take care for now.